It's time for NFL Week 1 Overreaction Monday for the Miami Dolphins. I'm Nick Roloff. This is Dolphins Today by Chat Sports. It was really just an embarrassing effort for Miami from start to finish in their 33-8 loss against the Colts in Week 1. And there is a lot to discuss here, primarily on the head coach, GM, and quarterback. And we'll start there with Overreaction Monday. Fire Mike McDaniel. I have been saying it. A lot of people on Dolphins Twitter have been saying it, as well as the people inside our comment section. Well, remember, one fin on here is not really happening. 4 fins is it absolutely should be happening. I'm giving it 4 fins. This is something that should have been done about, September, so 8 months ago in January. And if anyone has seen The Dark Knight, my favorite movie of all time, you'll understand this little picture here. Enough with the clown. That's how I feel with Mike McDaniel. I no longer want to see this loser on the sidelines for the Miami Dolphins. And when I say loser, I really mean loser. He is not right for this job. He is not an NFL head coach. Could he be a very solid and very good, maybe, offensive coordinator still in the National Football League? Yes. Some people are just built to be OCs. Some people are built to be head coaches. I always use Josh McDaniels for an example. He got a head coaching job with the Raiders and the Broncos. Both went horribly wrong, but he's been one of the best offensive coordinators in the NFL over the last 15 years across different organizations. The truth is, McDaniel cannot be the face of a franchise as its head coach. It cannot lead a franchise. It cannot lead a locker room. I have more on the matter here, but McDaniel, the evidence is clear. He can't be a head coach in the NFL, specifically for the Miami Dolphins. And let me know, make the call. Are you with me? I think a lot of you are, but I want to check in with everybody since we got to sleep on it. Should the Dolphins fire Mike McDaniel? Type F for fire, type K for key. Little jump scare from a year ago, last December. You see yours truly here. Well, look at this video. Can you see the title? Oh, the Miami Dolphins need to fire Mike McDaniel after the 2024 season. Oh, pictured, by the way, it was December 16th, 2024, and this came, I believe, right after they lost that game against the Houston Texans on the road, where it was an absolute disaster. I have been on the fire Mike McDaniel train for a while. I said it in January. I don't know why the Dolphins are bringing him back, and I was very upset when Stephen Ross put out that stupid freaking press release that Greer and McDaniel would be returning because he values consistency and he values that those two have a good working relationship. I don't give a shit. You ain't going to win football games with those two in charge. And there's 4 main reasons why I think you need to fire Mike McDaniel. And like I mentioned, yes, this is Overreaction Monday, but I do not believe this is something that I just came up with over the last 24 hours. I have believed this for a long time and just was only reaffirmed after the abysmal Week 1 performance. But number 1 reason to fire Mike McDaniel is his consistent lack of leadership. He is not a leader of men. He does not fire you up to go play for you. And there is consistent mistakes on film all the time, whether it be offense, defense, special teams. I don't know if you want to put it all on McDaniel. It's his coaching staff, so you got to put most of the blame on him. It is just bad from top to bottom when it comes to the coaches, the players, and they tried to change the culture and locker room this offseason, and maybe that takes time. Definitely does. But Mike McDaniel should not be the one trying to reshape the culture and locker room. Number 2 is that he's got horrible game management. It's gone bad to his play calling over the past couple years, and we can lump 2 and 3 here together because he is a bad play caller. And when I'm talking game management, I'm talking not throwing the challenge flags when he should and throwing the challenge flags when he shouldn't. He has one of the worst challenge flag success rates in the National Football League. And he had a bad moment, although it didn't matter in the outcome of the game, where he didn't challenge a Tyreek Hill clear 26-yard catch in the fourth quarter. He was bailed out because the next play, Devon Achane rattled off a 26-yard run to the same exact spot. But he has no feel. And I'm sick and tired of this cheat motion if I'm going to be honest. It was very good in 2022 and 2023. Why? Because the league has never seen it before. He surprised everybody. But now that the league has caught up to Mike McDaniel and those type of play calling, he has not been able to adjust. And too many times we see these motions and Tua changing the plays and nobody's ready to go, nobody's set. And guess what? There's 3 seconds on the play clock, and Tua hasn't even had a chance to really pay attention to what the defense is doing on the front. He hasn't had the ability to really alert and change the offensive protection along the line. You watch other QBs. Yes, there's motion, but he is checking into that motion, and he is reading the defensive line before that. What is happening for Miami is that there's motion, Tua tries to change the play, and then there's not enough time to get everybody set, ready to roll. It's just on Tua, it's on McDaniel, but I am sick and tired of his play calling and this offensive scheme. And number 4 is really just everything. It's incompetence. And I said it yesterday on a video, and producer Coop is with me all the way. The one thing I can't stand the most, not in football, but in life, is incompetence. It makes no sense. That's what Mike McDaniel is. He makes no sense. He has no clue what he's doing. He is incompetent. I'm sick and tired of hearing his quirky jokes at the press conference. You can make those jokes when you're going 11-6 and 12-5 every year and winning playoff games. Oh, you can't do that when you're going 8-9 last year, collapsing in 2022, collapsing in 2023, and putting up stinkers like you did in NFL Week 1. It's a joke. And when you have one of your all-time franchise GOATs saying after the game, unprepared, uninspired, unacceptable. My main man Larry telling the goddamn truth. Those 3 words, this tweet is exactly how all of Dolphins Twitter and the fans are feeling. It's terrible. You're getting clowned on Twitter. Specifically, Mike McDaniel, Dan Orlovsky, tweet this right after the game. The Dolphins tape is a mess, both sides of the ball, total mess. And this is just one of probably about 15, 20 NFL analysts that were calling for Mike McDaniel to get fired and mentioning how bad the Dolphins looked. I kind of went back at some of the NFL media members and analysts this offseason, cutting the Dolphins some slack. I wish I didn't do that. I was wrong. I tried to be a little bit of an optimist coming into this year. It's hard not to be optimistic heading into a new season. But this was bad, man. And I'll be honest, Week 2 coming up here at home against the division rival New England Patriots, who did not look good at home against the Raiders this past Sunday either. If you lose at home to the Patriots, I do not know how you don't pull the plug. He wins, he might save his job for a little bit. But if they lose and start 0-2 with an embarrassing performance against the Colts and an embarrassing loss at home against the Patriots, get his ass out of here. And we'll be here for the entire thing, so hit that sub button on the road to 74K subscribers. Appreciate everybody who just joined the channel and helped us cross 73K yesterday. We're 566 away from 74K. Let's get there ASAP. Second overreaction on Overreaction Monday. Tua Tagovailoa. Is he cooked? I gave 4 fins for Fire Mike McDaniel. I'm giving 4 fins for Tua. I'm very low on McDaniel right now, if you can't tell. I might somehow be lower on Tua. And this is coming from someone who I think is, if you had to go right down the line of defending Tua to not defending Tua, I would be on the side of defending Tua. I think he gets overly disrespected because of the success he has had in the past. But based off last season and based off what we saw in the preseason in Week 1, I can't really defend this guy anymore. It was bad. And when the All-22 comes out over the next 24 hours, I'll be even more excited to watch that and dive into it. But based off watching the game over again on the condensed replay and watching it live and seeing some clips on Twitter, I mean, I just don't know how you don't think this is the worst game I've ever seen. I mean, 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble. All of them are on Tua, by the way. You can't blame anybody else for those turnovers. Bad throws, inaccurate throws and decisions. And then on the fumble, he's getting collapsed in the pocket and he's holding the ball out like a loaf of bread. I mean, the QB rating was 51.7. His QBR was, I believe, 1.7 or 2.1, which was the worst in football this week. It is simply put, the worst performance I've ever seen from Tua in his career. I mean, there's some bad ones out there. Obviously, the game on Thursday Night Football last year against the Bills, the game against the Texans last year, it just is bad all the way around. There's just no way to sugarcoat it. It's ugly. And Omar Kelly, who I would also put on maybe as far on the defend Tua train as you can possibly have, kind of got after Tua in the post-game press conference, mentioning and asking why does he believe that his turnovers come in bunches. And Tua snapped on him a little bit, saying, I don't think they do. But Tua, you have no ground to stand on. But Omar Kelly with the note that this was the 7th time Tua has competed at least 3 turnovers in a game since 2020. The only quarterback to do it more times is Trevor Lawrence. And by the way, this is the 2nd time in his last 3 games where he has thrown multiple interceptions in a game. Dating back to last season, final 2 games he played that year against that Texans, against the 49ers, and then today or yesterday against the Colts. 2 interceptions against Texans, 2 interceptions against the Colts. He is not good. And we got more coming up on Tua here in a second. But get started with PrizePicks. Listen, Tua, bad. PrizePicks, good. And if you make good decisions on PrizePicks, you can get paid where it's good to be right. We make decisions every day. Turn those good ones into some money. It's so simple. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks does not hit. I did not win my Week 1 PrizePicks for the Dolphins-Colts game. I'm already turning my head to this upcoming Week 2, where I'm going more than Terry McLaurin touchdowns on Thursday night, where the Commanders host the Packers. And then there's already a PrizePicks special for next Sunday, Super Bowl rematch, Chiefs-Eagles. Take advantage of more than half a yard on Travis Kelce. We'll be showing that this entire week. But join me on PrizePicks. Download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. This is the passing chart from Tua Tagovailoa in Week 1. And there's a lot that stands out to me personally. Let's start with number 1. Well, anytime he tries to throw the ball downfield, it goes horribly bad. I have 3 throws 20 yards downfield past the line of scrimmage charted. 1 of 3 with an interception. I have about, 6 throws charted from 10 to 20 yards downfield, and he is 3 of 6 with an interception. Sure, he was efficient between the line of scrimmage and 10 yards downfield, but who isn't? And how about this? Look, can he not throw left? All of his throws are to the right side of the field. When he looks left, he can't throw left. Incomplete. Like, it's just bad. Like, and his 1 touchdown was 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage on a swing pass that was, by the way, 3rd and goal from the 11-yard line. He's lucky Devon Achane made a heck of a play to get in the end zone. Like, you just look at some of the advanced metrics coming out of Week 1. 28th in success percentage. 30th in EPA per play, 30th in passer rating, and 31st in interceptions to attempts ratio, 8.7%. I mean, are you kidding? Like, I go back to that passing chart. He couldn't throw left. Couldn't do it. Like, he completed 1 pass on the left side of the field. Everything else was in the middle and to the right. Like, that's a concern. And that has to do with footwork, has to do with mechanics, has to do with a lot of different things. Like, I can't wait for the All-22 to come out on, I think, Tuesday or night or Tuesday morning. Like, I'm going to get after it. And then here's the point I'll make as well, and this is why I can't really defend Tua anymore either. Did y'all watch Bills-Ravens Sunday Night Football? I mean, that was one of the best games I've seen in a long time. Like, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are the cream of the crop. 2 best quarterbacks in football. I don't really think there's a debate about that right now. But there's absolutely no world where Tua competes with any of those. You think Tua is going to be able to scramble around, make plays out of structure, dart the ball downfield, get in the end zone with his legs, extend plays? That is required to put up 40 points on those 2 teams? Absolutely not. So until the Dolphins have a quarterback that can go band for band with Josh Allen and Lamar, I mean, there's really no point in playing the games. And I know there's a Twitter member named Elite Marino that has that bit, but I'm not going to go full tilt that way because Tua does still do a lot of good things right most of the time. But I'm fully heading that way. Like, there's just no point if Tua is going to be your quarterback. I got to be honest. So be the GM. Is it time to cut bait with Tua? Type Y for yes or type N for no. Now, I'll be honest as well. It ain't going to happen. Like, it would cost $79.2 million in dead cap to cut Tua during the season, I believe, if I'm reading the contract details right, or at least after this season, going into 2026. So, just like Matt Miller mentions here, it is very unlikely that Miami would ever cut Tua. And for the people saying trade Tua, if you're trading Tua, you have to have someone be willing to trade with you. And I don't know who else is doing that. Maybe a team like the Saints would. I don't know. But I don't think it's likely. So the point is this when it comes to Tua. He is your quarterback for this season. You're likely not cutting Tua until after 2026, too, if we're going to be honest. Because do I believe Stephen Ross is going to pay $79 million as a dead cap for Tua? No. Now, there's only about $35 million in dead cap following 2026. So this season and then next season, where you cut Tua where he has 2 years left on his deal, only about $35 million in dead cap, and you save $1 million against the cap, actually. I just don't feel as if Stephen Ross would be willing to cut Tua with all that dead cap. But hey, maybe he doesn't care. I can tell you one thing. He doesn't care about the Dolphins winning football games as long as Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel are still employed. All right, final overreaction here on this episode. We will be drafting number 1 overall. I think this one isn't going to happen. I'm going to only give it one fin. I just feel as if there are way worse situations and teams out there. And as bad as it was for Miami in week 1, I'm going to have a hard time believing they are going to end up being a worse team than the Cleveland Browns, the New Orleans Saints, the Carolina Panthers, and Tennessee Titans. Which, by the way, those 4 teams that I just mentioned, the Dolphins play 3 or 4 of them. The only team they don't play is the Titans, who, by the way, beat you 2 times in a row on Monday Night Football over the past 2 seasons. You can make the argument that the Dolphins have actually had nothing go right for them since that Monday Night Football blown lead in the 4th quarter to the Will Levis Titans in 2023. Actually, pinpoint that. If you want to look at what's gone wrong with the Dolphins since Mike McDaniel got hired, that collapse on Monday Night Football is where everything started to go from, we're rolling here, baby, to, down here. Now, with this being said, I am going to I'm starting to monitor the 2026 draft class at the quarterback position. I am. I think you have to now. Based off what we saw from Tua in week 1, and it looks like Miami. Will they be picking number 1? No. Will they be picking top 10? Yes, they will be picking top 10. I'm going to that rate. Yes, teams can turn it around. It's just week 1. And we'll see. Maybe they blow the doors off of New England this Sunday, win 27-14, and maybe we'll have a different conversation next Monday. But as of right now, and what I saw on the condensed game and live, this team is terrible. And I'm already thinking about the next great quarterback that Miami might have to start developing. And the 5 that I'm keeping an eye on is Lenora Sellers from South Carolina, Garrett Nussmeier from LSU, Drew Aller from Penn State, John Mateer from Oklahoma, who is probably right now at this point the least highly touted quarterback on this list, and then Arch Manning. By the way, out on Arch Manning for this year. Could he still be an elite NFL draft prospect? Maybe. But it will not be this year. And I don't even think he comes out of the college anyway. But Mateer, Aller, Nussmeier, and Sellers are the 4 I'm keeping my eyes on. All 4 of them have elite traits. Sellers is a unbelievable athlete as well as has a cannon. But a lot of those same issues that you would see a quarterback like Josh Allen, like a Lamar Jackson has. You have to have the right people around him to develop, create the right habits, footwork, and reading defenses. Nussmeier is probably the most polished on this list. He's extremely accurate. He has great command of the LSU offense. He's a leader, but he doesn't have elite traits like some of these other guys. Aller's got an absolute nuke on his arm. Unbelievable. He's a little bit mobile, but very inaccurate. Bad decision-making at time. Mateer, he's showing me some things, folks. He's got mobility. He's got a good arm. He's got good leadership ability based off what I've seen. Mateer, the former Wazoo, maybe could be something here. Hey, want to know who else was a former Washington State product that now is a number 1 overall pick? Mr. Cameron Ward. That would do it for this episode of Dolphins Today. We'll be live later today, but I'm also giving you my opinions over on Twitter. So give me a follow at Nick_Wolf right now, and I'll see you later on today's live.